welcome to this exciting episode where we do all the fiddly bits about getting the bonnet actually fixed on there, the lights working, and I nearly killed myself, so stay to the end to see how I turn my face into this.
Here on a sunny bank holiday Monday. Either side of the bonnet, where that silver tape is, there's all the screw holes that the front wings bolt onto. I have got them at the side of the wing, but they're not great, so what I'm going to do is take some mouldings off this. So straight down here with a single strip, which will fit exactly because I'm moulding off the car. I'll have a little lip up there, and then glue it onto there, so that the wings will be held firmly. Got to do that from both sides. Let's just hope I don't stick it to the car permanently. Alright, those are now laid to carbon. Hopefully they won't stick to the car. And that's the bonnet as it is at the moment. That bit's good. That edge needs sorting. I need to get this to run parallel with the wing. Of course the wing's not 90 degrees, so I can't just put an edge on it. It's going to have to come in. The only way I can think of getting a clear gap is to actually mould the piece off the wing itself and then stick that to the bonnet on each side. It will also have to hold the bonnet hinge, so I'll have to fit to that. And basically I'm going to cut away this wobbly bit down here. Step one, try and plan out the gap line. I studied carefully, and all the professional body shops use household draft excluder. So 2 strips of draft excluder up there. Make sure the lines are good. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to work. Joking aside, that's not a million miles from bad. It'll give us about the right cut down there. You can see where there's wobbles on the edges. They'll get replaced by the new piece. Should give me an even gap down that side. Down here, you can see there's quite a lot of flare here, and especially at this end. Yeah, so those basically we could cut off, and the bit moulded off the white will go down there, and we'll have a nice fit. What I've got to do is find something better than dual draft excluder to make that raised bit. And now I have the strip. Of course, it's raining. So one of the joys of working on the drive. Quick gap in the rain has allowed me to set up this side. So you see I've got 8mm or 9mm of foam acts as a spacer, then aluminium tape, and that is going to be the face of the carbon fibre that will get stuck to here. So instead of having this little ridge here, all shitty, you're going to have a nice smooth piece coming in like that, which will fit perfectly. To avoid the showers, I moved the car to the garage. I remember when I first bought this place, I thought what a huge workshop this was and how great it was, and able to work on the cars and everything. Well, yeah, not much room that side. Yeah, not much room that side. And that side is completely filled with clutter. Let's go around the front and see what we got there. Excuse me while I squeeze through the gap. Yeah. Not much room at all. I even had to put a bit of string to tell me where to stop. I'm not sure where I'm going to cut this into the videos, but just thought I'd show you the difference between carbon with a bit of reinforcing and carbon without reinforcing. So that's 2 layers of 200 with a layer of this between it, which is what you see there. This, very hard, very stiff. This is 2 layers of 200, might be even 600 in there, with no reinforcement in it. Very strong, but not very stiff. So the plan for these side strips is a bit of the reinforcement and then wrap that around it so it's nice and strong. Well, that's one side laid up. I haven't done the other side, partly because I don't know if it's going to work, so I thought I'd just try one side first, and partly because I've got no room to work. Anyway, typical, it stopped raining again. Anyway, I'll leave that to go off overnight and see where we go from there. Right, let's see if this is gone off. Have the shape. Yeah, wrap this in carbon, put it back down, and hopefully that'll give us some side struts. Still a bit bendy at the moment, but with the carbon both sides of this, that should help. I now need to wrap it. I haven't really thought this through. I've got no way of making that go there, and stick solidly. So what we're going to do is basically make an envelope out of the plastic, slap resin on it, then make an envelope out of the plastic bag to hold it all tight in place. So this is going to be the bonnet edging. I made this small strip first. I've now wrapped it all in carbon fibre and taped it into shape. So hopefully that's now carbon fibre in the right shape, in the right place. So pull the tape off and it'll all be perfect. Glue that onto the bottom of the bonnet, or onto the edge of the bonnet at the right angle, and we're happy. Repeat for this side. I couldn't think of any clever way of gluing these side struts on the car, so I've guessed that that's the right angle, leaning in towards the bottom, and more upright here where the bonnet hinge goes. Upright there, and then sloping in more here. Let's hope it fits. Another Sunday morning. That half of the bonnet, down to the hinge, all in place. This side I want to get fixed on. It's another day, so I've got no idea. I struggled to work out how to get that to be at the right angle and everything. It's hinged to that end and bolt on the hinge. I'm going to hot glue that to there. Push it down so it leans in. Let the hot glue go off.
The bonnet's good.
Then
now
bond it properly.
How hard could it be? Alright then, let's just fast forward 2 days.
Okay, so I gave up on the wiring and got someone who knew what they're doing. And we now have working headlights, working side lights, working indicators, working main beam, and we're just putting in the working side indicators now. I feel a lot happier that they actually work and are probably safe. So, thank you very much.
And here you see it. Bonnet hinged, lights working, all ready for the MOT. Well, we've got to fit a bonnet hook and then ready for the MOT. Yeah, like, subscribe and all that fun. Join us next episode when we do that. I promised you some gory health and safety stuff where I nearly died. That's coming next. If you're squeamish, hang up now. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and catch the next episode when we hopefully take it to the MOT. Here's a little post-video health and safety stuff. As you know, I made my car out of this PU foam insulation stuff. For the air dam, I put the carbon fibre straight onto the polyurethane foam, then cut it out from behind. Used angle grinder to get rid of some of the dust. Obviously, that dust is not nice stuff. So, I had goggles on, I had the breather on. I even had a face mask with the goggles behind it. All of that to stop that dust getting into my face. Halfway through it, I get a phone call. I wander outside, take all the gear off, take the phone.
and the wind goes whoosh, it blows all the dust off my front into my face. I know I'm not the world's most beautiful thing, but this is not normal.
The next morning was even less normal, and 8 weeks later I was still applying creams and eye drops and everything.
So if you're going to use polyurethane foam, do use masks, breathers, everything you can, and make sure you don't let that dust get in your face.